We've got a photograph frame in our house, and we've had it for ages, and it hasn't got a photograph in. So I put one in, and my wife said she preferred the photograph frame without the photograph. So I took it out, I got my camera, and took a photograph of the empty photograph frame. I got it developed, and I put the photograph of the empty photograph frame inside the empty photograph frame. I thought that was a compromise. She said it was stupid and childish. I thought, right, I'll show you childish. So I got my camera, I took a photograph of the photograph frame, I took a picture of the empty photograph frame, got that developed, took a photograph of the photograph frame out of the photograph frame, and replaced it with a picture of the photograph frame, showing the picture of the empty photograph frame. I thought, that was clever. But by then she left me. I'm glad I'm here now. I had a brilliant day. I had such a busy afternoon. I feel we've bonded now. I can confide in you already. I entered a sex competition. I don't mind telling you, I did all right. I know I did better than all right. Did very well. I got as far as the erotic asphyxiation round. And then I got knocked out. I was never going to win it. My age, the best you can hope for is the semis. It was so nice. I was settled down, we had our neighbours round, I was watching the football, England, Brazil, lovely pasta dish, glass of wine, and the phone went, number withheld. I answered it. It's fucking Graham, isn't it? I mean, what's the point in taking out a restraining order, Graham, if you're just going to ignore it? And I said, no, we've got friends round, and you know, no way. He said, it's 15 quid, I'll be 20 minutes. So I look a bit tired. It's because we have a child, and he's our eldest child is a right twat. I'm a very overprotective dad. Though I failed a few years ago, I failed miserably because I failed to protect him from a flying swing. I had no idea that one child could contain so much blood. You're actually supposed to laugh at that bit, but never mind. Have you heard of blokes going to a park with a cute-looking dog to attract women? Forget that. Get yourself a child with a serious-looking head wound. They just came flocking over. So I had to take him to casualty, and he was, as it turned out, it was just a little cut, but the blood just poured out of him. I was in a bit of a state. He was in a terrible state. By the time we got to casualty, he was semi-conscious, and I'm sort of holding him on my shoulder, and I'm covered in blood, and he's covered in blood, and they took my details, and then they said to me, do you have medical insurance? Which I don't, but I'm like standing there with a semi-conscious little boy covered in blood. How much better is the service going to be if we've got medical insurance? Mr. Hitchmough, we see you're insured. Please step this way into our executive waiting room. Your child should be seen immediately by a crack team of elite surgeons who shall stitch his wound using only the finest quality gossamer surgical thread. And whilst we're taking care of him, we'd like to offer you this courtesy child of equivalent cuteness. Oh, and also, because we've got young kids, we have to hang around with other people who've got young children. We've got these neighbours, they're around our house now, they're called Simon and Yaz. Right? I'm very old, I'm way, way too old to know somebody called Yaz. And she's heavily pregnant at the moment. They've got a little boy who's 9 months old, already he's walking. Apparently that's impressive. Apparently they don't walk till they're about 1 in the wild. And I've seen him walk, and he's not very good. Not walking, is it? So I don't know what to say to anyone under 30. She's heavily pregnant at the moment. She's due to give birth very soon. So I found myself saying, so Gaz, what do you want? Boy or a girl? And she said, oh, we don't mind. We really don't mind. As long as it's healthy. As if there were some people in the world somewhere who were saying, oh, we're not particularly bothered if the baby's healthy or not, really. Our first child was born with jaundice, colic, cholera, typhoid gout, scurvy, rickets, arthritis, psoriasis, yellow fever, emphysema, tuberculosis, cystic fibrosis, deep vein thrombosis, ringworm, threadworm, guinea worm, foot and mouth, tennis elbow and kennel cough. But we don't mind because we've got a girl. We get on very well. We get on brilliant, actually. I don't think it's... I don't argue with them. I don't think it's very healthy. You've got to pick your battles. That's what my great-granddad used to say. Apparently, I never met my great-granddad, but he used to say, you've got to pick your battles. But then 3 days later, he was shot for cowardice. This morning I went swimming. I live in Wimbledon. I went swimming at Wimbledon Recreation Centre. They used to call it Wimbledon Swimming Pool, but now they've got a coffee machine. They don't allow petting in the pool. They actually have a specific sign that says, no petting in the pool. So what I've done, I've got up a big campaign and we stand outside and we shout, what do we want? To pet in the pool. And this morning was brilliant because we had a mass petting. We went along and we petted. But we didn't just pet, we broke other rules as well. Because we're pretty militant. Like I jumped over the footbath. Don't mess about. And they went swimming just after I'd eaten something. And I dived in a vertical fashion. I went swimming round and round in the diving area. Then I went swimming in the fast lane, but quite slowly. Then I went swimming in the slow lane, but quite quickly. Then I went swimming in the middle lane in the wrong direction, whilst wearing my fins, face mask and snorkel, and cut down jeans. Then I got out with a cigarette, something to eat, then had a drink out of a glass container. Then I pushed somebody in, around the side of the pool, and dive bombed in the shallow end. Off the mothers and toddlers pool, while shouting, splashing, spitting, swearing, ducking, performing acrobatics, and petting. And they threw me out because it was a women-only session. I've got a friend who's going to go back next Saturday and do exactly the same thing, but he's got a verruca. My neighbour died recently. That's killed the mood, doesn't it? He was, I don't know if he was 91 or 92, I'm not sure, but I was helping his nephew sort out the funeral arrangements. And I phoned up the crematorium, and he particularly wanted a Friday, so the earliest they could do was 6 weeks later. And then they said to me, would you like us to contact you if we get any cancellations? Who cancels a cremation? Hello, hi, we've got a cremation booked for the 24th. Gonna have to cancel. Yeah, we've decided to keep him. Chest freezer. Another scenario. Hello, we've got a cremation booked for the 24th. Yeah, I've got to cancel. Yeah. Looks like we jumped the gun a little bit. Hang on. Well, you are looking very pale, Grandad. During lockdown, I worked as a special needs teacher, and there's one lad I looked after who had very complex special needs. He was level 3 autism. He had level 3 autism. He had noise-cancelling headphones and stuff. And occasionally, I don't know what the medical term is, but it's what his mother used to refer to as one of his bonkers episodes. And when I looked after him, we'd take him out for the day. I'd take our dog, and when he'd have one of his episodes, our dog would sort of nuzzle him and paw him a little bit. It had a brilliant calming effect on him. And we're quite often stuck for something to do, so I took them to the Marble Arch Mound. Anyone go to that? You know what it is, I assume? Yeah. If you don't know what it is, it was an artificial hill built by Marble Arch in the corner of Hyde Park. Bit controversial. £6 million to build. Some people said that was a bit of a waste of money. Other people said that was a criminally obscene waste of money. And to go up the Marble Arch Mound, you have to go through one of those sort of door metal detectors like they have at airports. I don't quite know why. I think as terrorist targets go, the Marble Arch Mound is probably on a par with Surbiton Kitten Sanctuary. So I had the dog with me, and they said, "Oh no, you can't come on with the dog." And I explained that he was a therapy dog, and they said, "Oh no, you need to harness." And I said, "No, he doesn't need a harness at all, but he is a proper therapy dog." And they wouldn't have it. So I showed them the card that I've got with me here. That shows, it's a laminated card, that he's a proper therapy dog. You're not going to see that, but and access is required by law, it actually says on the card. And they were having none of it. So they called the supervisor over. Now I had anticipated this, so I got the certificate. There's only a copy of it, but it's a proper service dog, assistance dog certificate that shows that he has reached level 2 assistance dog training. And they still wouldn't let us on. Now, I've gone to a lot of trouble to forge these documents. So I was quite miffed. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say I was very niggled. So I wrote a strongly worded email, and they got back to me almost immediately. And as a result of my lies and deceits, the staff were retrained. So if you want to visit the Marble Arch Man with an assistance dog, whether it's real or not, you now can. At least you could, if it still existed. They took it down on the grounds that it was a bit shit, really. So any teachers in? Yeah, who said yes over there? Put your hand up. So, what do you teach?
Children.
Children. I teach bastards. So, because after lockdown, I went back to teaching a little bit, and it's changed. I don't know how you find it now, but children now are encouraged to engage in critical thinking, which is fine if you're teaching one of the silly, pointless subjects like French. But you don't teach French, do you? But if you teach one of the proper, grown-up subjects like maths, which is what I taught, well, you don't really have the time. So what you've got to do is they ask a question, you've got to nip it in the bud. I'll just show you what to do. They go, sir, and you go, excuse me, hand down, look. I know this school encourages you to question conventional wisdom, but we've got a lot to get through, so we really don't have the time to indulge you in your stupid tip-brain questions. Now take my word for it, it's a fucking rhombus. There's words and phrases you don't say now as well. We don't say homework. No, it's not homework. It's home learning. But it's not homework. We don't say detention. No, after school reflection time. It's still detention. Just changing the name of something doesn't change what it is. You're not supposed to call the children cunts. But that's not fair. No, they're not. They're not all cunts. Some of them are merely knobheads. So I was at this work tribunal. I'll tell you a story about our dog. I wasn't doing this, but I don't like drinking. I used to be in Canberra, the campaign for real ale. I got thrown out one of them, the splinter group called Batildle. Bollocks to it, let's drink lager. It's got to see much better. I had my eyes lasered. I'll tell you this as well, I wasn't going to do this. I got my eyes lasered over a month ago now, 6 weeks ago. And my wife said to me, she said, is it dangerous at all? And I said, oh, not really, they've been doing it for years, but any operation, there's a tiny, tiny risk. And then she said, well, if it does go tits up, does that mean we can get Labrador? So we were on holiday, and we're on the beach in Devon, and we had the dog with us, and we saw this fella at the water's edge, who's perhaps a big, scary bloke, and he had a big, scary dog with him. And he was struggling with it because the dog obviously wanted to go into the sea, so he lifted it up by the collar. And my wife shouted at him. She went, hey! And he turned around and he went, what? And then he started coming over. So I thought, yes, that's what, thank you. Who's he going to want to fight with, you or me, when he gets it? And as he got big, I got nearer, I could see that he was really, really muscly. And the dog that had been playing up suddenly became very focused because the dog knew something was going to happen. I looked closer to see. He seemed to get much more muscly as he got nearer. And on his leg, he had a tattoo with a skull with a dagger through the top that was dripping with blood on his right leg just above his paw. That's the only bit of the story that isn't true. It was his left leg. And so he got near and he went, what? And my wife said, we don't like the way you're treating your dog. Yeah, we. And I was sitting there on the camping chair going, well, I'm fine with it, mate, earlier. Anyway, I'm training him. And then he took a step towards me, he stood right over me, and I thought, right, he definitely wants to fight me. And I thought, I'm not having it. I'm not, there's no way I'm putting up with this. If I'm going to have a fight, I'm going to have a fight. So I was looking around for something to pick up to make him think twice about starting a fight with me. Like a baby, something like that. And this story's got a shit ending, I'll just warn you by the way, nothing happened. And then it was actually our dog who saved the day. And our dog started playing with his dog and ran off towards the sea. And he didn't know what to do then, fight with me or go after the dogs. He went after the dogs. Our dog came back, his dog went into the sea and he couldn't get it back, and eventually he did, and he just walked up the beach and didn't even look at us. So I told you I had a shit ending, but it was true. But it does have a happy ending, because we were chatting to some people later on and they told us that his dog bit him. Isn't that lovely? I saw this advert for Oral-B toothbrushes, and it said, Oral-B toothbrushes, brush like a pro. Now, I never knew that professional toothbrushing was a thing. If you want to sell that sport, you've got to have the right commentary. Well, it's a wild industrial money here. There's a very impressive purpose-built bathroom, and there goes the referee's whistle to signify the start of the brush in the basement time. The toothpaste is straight on with one squeeze, and there he goes, attacking the upright molars on the outside with a side-to-side action. I mean, Ford has opted for a compact brush with soft bristles and an ergonomic handle, just like he did in the Belgium Open. And to smooth transition to the low right premolars and now the incisors, and switching to our brush cam, we can see he really is making short work of that tartar. So look at those actions, such a side circle. And let's see if he's doing a spit. Yes, he's doing a spit. Straight in the plug hole, tap on, quick into the brush and back to the front of the lens sizes. And to see him discretion to the lower right premolars, only switch sides. Yes, he switched sides. I'm not sure he spent enough time on the right hand side, but the orthodontist right stays down. He really is an incredible brusher. Some would say precocious, but there's no denying his talent. Any young brushers out there, take notes. This is how you clean teeth. And he only has to back to the upper incisors to do it. I think he's done. Yes. One final spit and rinse, and the brush is back in the cup holder. Exhibition stuff. Surely he's done enough to send him through to the next round. And the spectators showing their appreciation, just because of that noise, such a favourite with the crowd, but that's not always been the case. Some more senior fans may remember him being booed at the Newport Brushing Festival after he went electric. You've been lovely. Please keep supporting the club. In fact, all the whole lot of comedy clubs that Elaine and Graham run, and you've been my favourite audience ever. Thank you very, very much. Good night.
Thank you.